Hello parents, it's Miss Benjamin again. I am here to talk to you about subtraction strategies now. I'm going to try to be a little bit quicker with this video than the last kind of sets of videos. We're going to go through each strategy, and then again, feel free to email me or get in touch with me for questions if you have questions. For the purpose of this video, we're going to use the same problem over and over again. The problem that we're going to use is 308 minus 149, and we're going to talk about different subtraction strategies that we would use. This is just a heads up to tell you that with three-digit subtraction, I would expect second graders to use a picture the whole time, meaning usually a number line. Most of the strategies that we're going to do lend themselves to a number line beautifully. So I'm going to show you the number line first, and then I'm going to show you these other strategies and kind of talk about how that looks on the number line. So I'm actually going to draw my number line on my poster today for the subtraction strategies, and then I'll do each of all the other strategies on my whiteboard. So a number line would look like this, okay? And when we are using a number line with subtraction, we're either with subtraction doing takeaway or finding the difference. So contextually, subtraction is so much easier to think about when you have a context, because it will help us to determine, are we taking away or are we finding the difference between? So for instance, if I said that I have $308 in my checking account, which we all know is not true because I'm a teacher, I don't even have that much. But if I said I have $308 in my wallet and you have $149 in your wallet, and then I asked the question, how much more money do I have, or how much less money do you have? That's finding the difference. So that would be done by saying, here's 149 on the number line, and here is 308 on my number line, and now I'm going to get from one number to the other, and we could go forwards or backwards, whatever we're more comfortable with. I'm more comfortable with going forward. So most second graders are going to get to a friendly number first, so they're going to make a jump of 1 to be at 150. Okay, and now I have this really friendly number that I can jump with, so I know I can at least add 100, right? That's going to get me to 250. Well, let's just do that, right? And then I can add another 50. That gets me to 300. Okay, and then I have 8 more. So now I'm looking at 100, 150, 158, 159. So my answer is 159 is the difference between these two numbers. Okay, so what would that look like? Now I'm going to show you on my whiteboard if we were doing takeaway. So if I said I had $308 in my wallet and I spent $149, how much money do I have left? And what that looks like on the number line is different than what that looks like on the number line, because now I'm going back 149 spots. So first I'm going to go back 100. 308 minus 100 is 208. And then I'm going to take away, because remember we're taking away 149, then I'm going to take away 40, so helps me to think about this. I have 20 tens here, and I'm taking away 4 tens, which is 16 tens. And then I'm going to take away 9. Well, I'm going to break my 9 up into an 8 and a 1, because there's an 8 right here in the ones place, so I know that 8 is inside of 9. So minus 8 gets me to a friendly number, and then minus 1 gets me to, so now I've subtracted 140 and 9 to make minus 149. But Now the 159 is where I landed, not the jump that I made. So the context matters in how we do this. Did we get a different answer? No, we got the same answer, but where our answer appears on the number line is different, and that can cause confusion for kids. So it's important with subtraction that we're really using a context. We rarely are going to just naked number subtract because it matters. Okay, so using my number line just now, I showed you keeping one number whole and subtracting the other number. On this number line, I actually showed you adding up. So now I'm going to talk to you about each of these strategies. So adding up can be done on the number line, or it can be done without the number line, thinking about 149. And most kids would do it like this. They would add 1 to get to 150. Then they would add 50 to get to 200. Remember, we're stopping at 308, and then we're going to see what we added. So now we're going to add 108. Okay, so we added 108, we added 50, and we added 1. So 108 plus 50 plus 1 equals 159. So there's adding up. So starting at the smaller number, stopping at the larger number. Okay. So that's the adding up. Keeping one number whole, again, 308 can be done away from a number line. Minus 100 is 208. Minus 40, 168. And then minus 9 gives you 159. Okay, and that's where we're going to stop because we've kept one number whole and we've subtracted out the other numbers. So that was like a takeaway method. Okay. We have constant difference, which again appears on the number line. So constant difference is finding the difference between two numbers on a number line. So 149 and 308. So I don't know about you, but I don't know the answer right away. If I hadn't already done this problem, I wouldn't know what the answer was. So in order to find the answer, sometimes it's easier to find, to make friendlier numbers. So we might make friendlier numbers by changing this to be 150 or changing this to be 300. Where we're going to stop. So let's just say we're going to adjust this to 150. We adjusted it by 1. If we're going to keep the difference or the distance between the two numbers the same, the original distance is like that, right? In order to keep the distance the same, we have to also adjust our other number by 1. And now we have 309 minus 150. It's the same answer. And like I told you on the addition, this problem does not really lend itself to that, making it easier, right? But if I were doing a problem like 300 minus 164. That's a lot of zeros to cross out and borrow if I were doing it the way that I was taught. So I could adjust. Again, the number line is not going to help us solve this problem. It's going to help us prove why it works. So I can adjust each side of this. What I'm trying to figure out is what's the distance between these two numbers. But instead, I can take 1 away and do 299 and take 1 away, and that's 163. And now the distance has stayed the same. I've kept the constant distance or difference, but now I'm solving a much easier problem because I don't have to cross out and borrow. So 9 minus 3 is 6, 9 minus 6 is 3, and 2 minus 1 is 1. Okay, so that's constant difference. And then the last one is a partial difference. I know I'm going through these very quickly, but if you have questions, I'm happy to help you understand these a little bit slower if you need that. So partial difference can be difficult. It is setting us up towards subtraction, but what's happening with partial difference is that you're going to end up with negatives because we have a lot of borrowing that has to happen in this problem. So 8 minus 9 is a negative 1. 0 minus 4 is a negative 4. And then 300 minus 100 is 2. Oh, sorry, it's a negative 40. My bad. And then we have a positive 200. So then what has to happen is technically we're adding negative numbers. So we have a negative 41, right, plus 200. Kids have to understand that in the whole, what you owe versus what you have means actually that you're going 200 minus 41, which gives you 159. Okay, so partial difference is difficult on a problem like this. We would not expect kids to use partial difference on a problem like this one, especially second graders. Now, as kids get older and they do understand a deficit like that, kids who've lived through the coronavirus and seen the stock exchange might start to understand a deficit. But anyways, I just wanted to touch base very quickly on some subtraction strategies. If you have questions about these strategies, feel free to contact me. I can send you some pictures of the actual problem, or you are welcome to work through the problems again and watch the video back. So again, mbenjamin@hoover.k12.al.us if you have questions, or I can do anything to help you with math.